This is the macroeconomic of Japan เป็น individual assignment for macroeconomic subject, and we are going to record the presentation for this assignment. So let's get started. The country that I choose to present is the Japan. That is the interest country that I choose. So let's move to the next slide. The topic outlined, we are going to talking about the introduction, the component in aggregate expenditure model, Japan interest rate, top 5 export and import, exchange rate, interesting industry for FDI in Japan. Let's talk about the introduction in Japan. The introduction of Japan economic. So as you know, the Japan economic is the freedom score in 23.3 and making it economy the 33 in the 2020 index, and the overall score has increased by 1.2 points due primarily to an improvement in fiscal health, and Japan is ranked 8th among 42 countries in the Asia Pacific region. And the last is the Japan economic typically hover in the lower rank of the mostly free category, and GDP growth has been constrained for many years as well. So the quick fact or the fun fact in this, in the Japan have GDP about 5.6 trillion and have a 0.8% growth rate in GDP, and have a 44,227 per capita. This information in 2020. And let's move. We are going to the aggregate expenditure model. So the aggregate expenditure model in Japan have a GDP is about 5.443 trillion estimate in 2017, and the consumption in Japan we separate to household consumption is about 45.5%. Investment is separate to the investment in fixed capital in about 24%, and investment in inventories about 0%. The government consumption is about 19.6%. And the next expert for the export is 688.9 billion, and import is 44.7 billion. This next, in 2018, Japan was the number 3 economy in the world in terms of GDP, the number 4 in total exports, the number 5 in total imports, and the number 1 most complex economy according to the Economic Complexity Index. Interest rate in Japan is about minus 0.1%. So after 2016, it's dropping down from 0 to the minus 0.1. And about the interest, Japan interest rates. The Bank of the Japan, or the central bank in Japan, left the key short-term interest rate unchanged at minus 0.1%, and the central bank revised its GDP projection for the current fiscal years ending in March about 2021 to concentration of 5.5%, and the BOG stands for Bank of Japan revised up its GDP forecast for the 2021 fiscal year to 3.6 growth, and the central bank expect core consumer price to fall 0.6% in the current fiscal year. Okay, let's move. So about the export and import in Japan, the top 5 export and the top 5 import in Japan. Let's go. About the import, top 5 import in Japan. So the number 1 is the vehicles, about 148.8 billion. And the number 2 is machinery, including computer, about 137 billion. And the number 3 is electrical machinery equipment, about 103.1 billion. So this is the during 2019 data. And the number 4 is the optical, technical, medical apparatus, about 39.1 billion. And the last one, number 5, is iron and steel, about 26.1 billion. So the export, the important partner that cooperate with Japan is China, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Thailand. As you can see the percent, I didn't talk, but Ajahn can see it. So the next is the top 5 import in Japan. So the number 1 is the mineral fuel, including oil, is about 155.6 billion. And the number 2 is the electrical machinery equipment, 98.8 billion. And number 3 is machinery including computer, 70.5 billion. Number 4 is optical, technical, medical apparatus, about 78.2 billion. And the last one is pharmaceuticals, about 37.2 billion. And the imports in the important partner that cooperate with Japan is the China, US, Australia, South Korea, and Saudi Arabia. So the exchange rate in Japan from last 5 years start from the 2016. As you can see, Japanese yen exchange to the United States dollar, it start from the 0.00839, and every year the exchange rate increase. As you can see, when we move to the 2017 is 0.00855, and the last from now recently 2020 estimate about the 0.00921. This is the exchange rate in past 5 years in Japan. So let's move to the interesting industry for FDI in Japan. About the interesting industry for FDI in Japan. So the country has a type of marketing mechanism, perfect competition, because the industry for foreign industry investment in Japan is the automotive industry, and Japan is the world leading exporter of auto part industries, as well as Germany. For example, like Toyota, like Suzuki, Honda, everyone should know. And FDI flows to Japan remain low compared to most other developed nations across. So another fact articles in Japan. So the first article is the budget management fiscal year 25-16 Abe. So I picked the most important, the key point that I conclude and summary from the whole news in website. So in 2017, about 97.45 trillion budget adopted by the government Abe and achieved both resuscitation of the economy and physical rehabilitation, and amount of new ball decline and tax revenue will increase. About 30% spent for the social security expense and public work expenditure, which rise up to 1.4% or allow 5.1 to 5 trillion yen. So the second article is Japan's economy rebounds from record slump as pandemic paid and assets. So the Japan economic growth 21.4% in the third quarter, and GDP complied with a median market forecast increase 18.9%, first increase in the four quarters, and declined 28.8% in April-June so far. So the government want to stimulate measure totaling about $2.2 trillion, and cash payment loan give the cash payment loan to the for the people. And the third article is Japan economy shrinks at record pace as coronavirus hits spending. So the economy of Japan contraction in the second quarter as the coronavirus outbreak, and the GDP shrank 27.8% annually in April through June, and more than half of the Japanese economy down 8.2%. Analysis expectation of a 7.1% drop. And the next article is Bank of Japan trims growth forecast but predicts stronger rebounds in 2021. Economy of Japan contract 5.5% in the fiscal year to March in 2021 and expect to recover 3.6% in the next year. And Bank of Japan continue to freeze interest rate at minus 0.1%, and the government still continue to buy Japanese government bonds as needed and willing to issue additional monetary easings. So the last article is Japan leans on fiscal stimulus to keep recession at bay. Shinzo Abe, the president in Japan, announced allow 26 trillion yen, or it's about 339 billion United States dollar of economic stimulus. And the stimulus will boost about 1.4% of economic growth and reduce the risk of the recession. So the government of Japan try to improve the country resilience to extreme weather and expand the refuel system for cashless payment. So thank you for your attention, Ajahn. Thank you.